name Fouzi Bikawi. I'm the director of INRA, Institut National de Recherche Agronomique in Rabat. Within the mission of INRA, my institution is the conservation of genetic resources, which plays an important role not only in agriculture, but also in the environment. So Morocco is a country with a rich diversity of plants and animals and microorganisms. It's one of the richest in the Mediterranean region. Within INRA, we have as an objective to collect and conserve all species that are found to have a role in agriculture. For instance, we have a gene bank in Stat that has a collection of 70,000 accessions. So accessions are types of seeds that are collected, characterized, and conserved at 4 degrees and -20 for short and long term. In addition to that, INRA, to preserve our biodiversity, has many collections. We have collections of fruit trees, as I said, of seeds. We collect cactus. We have collections in Agadir of 450 types, of accessions or of species or varieties. So the higher the number, the higher the biodiversity. We have collections of fruit trees in the area of Meknès. We have collections of date palm. Date palm, as you know, plays an important role, economic role in Morocco, in the oasis and in the southern area of Morocco. And we have also collections of citrus in Kenitra. Those are some examples of the collections INRA has and maintain to ensure that we have a wide biodiversity of plants in Morocco. Now, to show the importance of the biodiversity, I'm going to give the example of a cactus. As most of the people have noticed in Morocco, in 2016, there is an insect called cochenille that has appeared in Morocco and start attacking the cactus. And most of the plantations that existed in Morocco got destroyed because of this insect. So because of the collections we had of cactus, it was in Agadir, we tried to find if we had some natural resistance to this insect. And one of our scientists took a copy of these collections, approximately 300 types of cactus that he planted near El Jadida. That's where the problem of the cochenille appeared. And after a few weeks or a few months, what he observed that all the plants were attacked by the cochenille except 8. And those 8 have a natural resistance to the cochenille, and the Minister of Agriculture right now, and with other partners, we're in the process of multiplying these varieties that were registered, and we are giving them back to the farmers to restore what used to be a very important plantation, I would say, of this plant that's used for the fruit, used as a feed for the animals. The leaves can be cut in pieces and fed to animals. The seed is also used to make some very expensive oil. So as I mentioned, we have this gene bank, and that's one way of conserving the biodiversity and the genetic resources. Because we are coming to capacity with this gene bank in Stat, it started in 2003, this gene bank. We're in the process of constructing a new gene bank in the area of Temsna, and we're hoping to open this gene bank at the end of this year or early 2025. In addition to conserving plants in this new gene bank, so it'll have a higher capacity of up to 200,000 accessions compared to 80,000 accessions and conserve. And then a copy of these plants is put in the bank or in the gene bank. Now, in addition to these gene bank I just mentioned, Morocco has also another gene bank that is managed by ICARDA. ICARDA is an international institute in Rabat that we work very closely with. But this is an international institute, brings also collections from other countries to collect and preserve in Morocco and send back to other countries. This institute, this center, focus specifically on cereals and legumes, whereas the gene banks that INRA manages will cover all species of importance to the Moroccan ecosystem. Classical fruits and vegetables, I don't think they are threatened, but what is threatened is the wild species, the wild that lives in the natural habitat. For example, in the grazeland of Morocco, there are a lot of species that are now, because of drought, they are affected by climate change, and they may not reproduce as they used to be when there is rain. So those are affected. There is also an effect from pollution, from the extension of the housing. All of these factors can affect these plants. Now, for the plants that we consume, we generally have copies of these of the plants that we keep in the gene bank, and we all the time go back to these copies and try to restore them. But the wild species are the ones that are threatened, and the wild species, they can have again an important role in food, in agriculture, and also in the environment. It could be wild fruits that we haven't characterized as much, that also could be threatened, like what we call them the bildia fruits. Some of those fruit trees, for example, they're not as used as before, because we tend to use the modern fruits that are mostly imported. So the bildi fruit, if we want to say, we have to do some work in ensuring that we preserve them. There is the whole ecosystem of the oasis, near the Rashidia, near other cities within the southern part of Morocco. So these areas, oases, they have a very rich biodiversity of plants that if we don't conserve them, if we don't use them, they may disappear. So we have to protect these areas that are very, very fragile. Some of the other trees that we need to preserve, figs, for example. We need to look at some of the natural varieties or natural cultivar that are existing. And INRA is selecting some of those and trying to register them into new varieties. But we have to collect all the types that we find. There is also apricot. There are some native or very old varieties of apricot. Apples, we tend to grow mostly varieties that come from Europe or from other countries, where our own varieties are not as cultivated. So we need to protect those. On the national level, we work closely with the Ministry of Agriculture, but also with other partners, universities like Institut Agronomique Hassan II, École Nationale de Meknès, ENFI, École Forestière. We also, with other universities, we collaborate. We collaborate also with the association that represents the farmer. There are many, for each sector of type of plants or agricultural product, there is an association. There's an association for olive, for citrus, for date palm, etc. So we collaborate with this. On the international level, we collaborate with ICARDA. I mentioned earlier the center, the international center that exists here in Rabat, and we have very close collaboration with them. In fact, they are very well known for conserving biodiversity at the international level. Our ultimate target is that at some point we have a representation of all natural species that exist in Morocco will be preserved and conserved. That's our final target. Now, within our program, each year we have a specific number of species that we need to collect. I don't have that specific number, but for example, by 2030, we would collect something like 10 or 20,000 new seeds that we will conserve in the gene bank. But the ultimate target, and that's what we should aim for, is preserve all natural species. In addition to agricultural plants, we should do it also on forestry, because Morocco has a rich habitat of forestry, and we need to conserve the trees, we need to conserve the plant that grows under the trees, and that will be beneficial, I would say, for the environment, and also may have an important role in agriculture. The challenges is in particular of natural or human resources. So maybe we don't have as many people working in this area as we would like to, because there is so much work that needs to be done. So that will be one of the key challenges, I would say. And the other one is developing capacity and training some of the young people in this area of biodiversity, because within the context of biodiversity, there is not only collection, there is characterization, there is putting back the plants in their habitat. So all of these elements will require resources, mostly human resources, but also resources in terms of funding to be able to hire students or people and buy equipment. The opportunities is the new gene bank that we are building. We would like it to be a center of excellence. We would like to be open to others to come and train. Obviously, we would like it to be well equipped. We would like to hire people to work with us and provide it as an opportunity for collaboration with not only national, but other countries from Africa or elsewhere.